It depends on like who you are and when you lost your hearing. I lost my hearing in my 20s. This is after I'd gotten my first cochlear implant. I got the right one done in September of 2019. So my brain was already beginning to relearn sound again.
For some reason, I had in my head that you got your implants when you were a teenager. I did not know you just got them in the past couple years.
I've done a couple posts like on social media, like here and there, because I know it's something that a lot of people don't know a whole bunch about. And in the deaf community, it's sort of a hot button issue because, and this, to make a long story short, it's sort of implying that deaf people in the deaf community are not proud of the community, or not proud of the language that they've fought, like the pioneers of ASL fought to make a language and something that is a standard for deaf people to communicate with. With cochlear implants, it can be tough because some people in the community can see it as, you're saying we're broken, you're saying we need to be fixed, you're saying that we need to change ourselves to fit into a hearing world. So it can skew a little ableist. So what I say with cochlear implants, it depends on like who you are and when you lost your hearing. I lost my hearing in my 20s. So I grew up completely hearing perfectly, and then it just started declining. And I got hearing aids at first, and then the hearing aids weren't strong enough, like different levels of hearing aid, like one hearing aid, then two, and then stronger and stronger and stronger, and my hearing just completely declined. And so finally it got to the point where I'd be in a room and I would immediately just disassociate from like all conversations because there was no way I could keep up without the lip read. So I was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh,
It's not funny.
wow.
I mean, it's like a bunch of things. I was diagnosed with
No,
cancer.
but here's the listen, I'm a stroke survivor. So, and I tell
Really?
people, yeah. And so I tell people all the time, like, what happened? Like, if somebody sees me drop something, I'm like, oh, hashtag stroke problems. Like, it's a thing. You're fine. No, I get it. Cause sometimes the only way you can get past some of what you're going through, especially when it's compounded, is by joking
Yeah.
about it. It doesn't mean it's not serious. It just
Yeah.
means that's why we call the pandemic a personal pan pizza, because we just can't,
Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to steal that. We're here in a whole personal pan pizza, and you're choosing to act like this. I'm going to use that with my nephew.
Right. He's choosing to act like a pineapple. That's the problem. I don't know if you feel like sharing, but I'm going to assume it's in remission.
Yeah. I'm actually in a very lucky intermission, and I feel really bad because I can be really out there on social media, and then I can be like withdrawn at times. So I feel like I need to update because people are wondering like, what just happened? Wait, what's going on here? So but the weird thing about cancer in general is that you end up putting a lot of things into perspective. And I had heard about cochlear implants. And doctors had told me the type of hearing loss you have, it's called high frequency profound, which means I don't hear consonants at all. So like words like talk sound like gawk, or words like potato sound like oh. Seriously, I don't hear consonants at all. So I'm not able to follow language unless I'm lip reading. And I had heard about cochlear implants, but I was really cynical. I was like, it's not going to work for me. Why should I even think about it? And doctors would tell me, with your hearing loss, you're actually a perfect candidate for the surgery. And I was also scared. I was like, someone's going to cut my head open. Oh my God. Like I was going to cut my head and really going to stick something in my head. You freak out sort of. I wasn't very educated on it, and I didn't do a good job of finding out more. But after diagnosis and going through all the radiation and treatments and chemo meds and stuff like that, I think something just changed in me in 2019. And I was like, you know what? Let's just get one ear done and see what happens. And I did. And they did UCLA did a documentary on me because they thought it was interesting. And it was all about before the surgery, all the pre-appointments, and then the day that turned my ear on. And you can see videos like this on YouTube, like people who hear for the first time, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Well, I haven't heard in years. I haven't heard real sound as it's supposed to sound in years. Everybody sounds like before these, everybody sounded like Charlie Brown adults and Charlie Brown peanuts. Like wah, 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 wah. That's what everyone
Underwa
sounded.
like underwater. A
Yes.
little bit
Wow,
like
wow,
underwater.
wow.
I personally just wanna thank you because you being so open and sharing even just what you just shared
Mhm.
is not just healing, but it's
Yeah.
also educating and teaching the rest of us. I did not know. I knew a little bit about the quote unquote stigma, not stigma with implants, but I didn't
Yeah.
know how deep it went. It almost sounds like there's like a purist kind of concept to it. And it really
Yeah, because
depends on what it's a choice though.
yeah, it in the deaf community, there's like the uppercase D, which is the deaf culture. I mean that you're part of the culture. You speak ASL. Then there's the small D, which is the DEAF, but it's a small D, which means you are deaf or you have deafness or a hard of hearing, but you're just not part of the whole culture. Like maybe you don't speak ASL, maybe you are lip reading. So if I was to be put in a category, they would definitely put me in the lowercase D. Maybe because of my implants, or just because I'm not as well versed in ASL as I wish I was. Like I'm watching Premium Geek, and I'm jealous right now.
I'm sure they would give you classes. But listen, I'm gonna
Mhm.
not you're not a lowercase anything on this show. You are an uppercase D for diva. You are a diva on this show. You're here, you're gorgeous and you're telling your story and you honestly, Alicia, just walking into a room, you can inspire people.